You have what's called the process-based scoring system. When we enter squad scrimmage, we want to reward the process. The process is what gets us the outcome. Okay, we don't have any control over the outcome. We do have control over the process. With the process-based scrimmage, what we do is we are rewarding the things that are going to help us get the outcome that we're looking for. So for example, we'll start an inning with a runner at first base. Pitcher throws his 4 warm-up pitches. There's a runner at first base. We start with a 1-1 count. Hitter comes up. He's got to execute a sacrifice bunt. If he executes the sacrifice bunt successfully and the runner moves to second, we clear the bases. The hitter who put the bunt down successfully comes back and gets to hit again. If he doesn't put the bunt down, we clear the bases, and that guy loses his at-bat. Doesn't get to hit. Next guy comes up. So to start every inning, we have what we call a situational scrimmage. It may be first inning, sacrifice bunt. Second inning, runner on second, move him over. Third inning, runner at third base, 1 out, have to score him. And we keep track of those points on the scoreboard in the errors column. Once we clear the bases and we start the inning, we start it just like we would any scrimmage, nobody on, nobody out, or we may force the action a little more and say, hey, in inning 2, we're starting runners at first and third, 1-1 count. When I was at Cal State Fullerton as a grad assistant in 2002 and 3, I'd say 90% of the time that we were scrimmaging, we would not start 0-0, nobody on. 0-0 count, nobody on. There'd always be forcing the action, trying to make players uncomfortable so they can learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If you look at the process-based scrimmage, I believe you have that score sheet in front of you. Notice how there's different categories. This is great. I'm paying them to do that right now. They're doing a great job making that noise, challenging you guys to stay locked in. Right? I think when you use that same thing when you're talking to your team, you've taught them the 30-second drill. All of a sudden, if you're in a classroom talking to your team and someone walks in the door, how many of you would say half the heads in your room are going to turn around and see who's coming in? Right? When you do that, you challenge them and say, hey, that's like the annoying fan in the stands. That's the umpire who made a bad call. You got to challenge yourself to when that happens to stay locked in. All it is, gentlemen, is it's recognizing where your mind's at, recognize when you get distracted, boom, bring it back into that next minute, bring it back into that next moment, that next pitch. So in that process category, you'll see there's different categories. There's a pace of game. There's an offense, defense, and pitchers. So for example, we start the inning, sacrifice bunt, move the runner over. That team on offense would get 1 point in the errors column. That's the situational scrimmage column. Runner from second goes back to the dugout. Hitter comes back. While the hitter's making his way back, to give him a little bit more time, the catcher then throws the ball down to second. We put a stopwatch on his throw. If he gets it to second base under whatever your time is, 1-8, 2-2, whatever your time is, from glove to tag, gets 2 points for his team. They go right on the scoreboard in the hits column. In the pitcher's category, 1-1 count. If he pushes it to 1-2, he gets 1 point for his team. If we sprint off the field, if our outfielders get across the foul line in 9 seconds, infielders get across the foul line in 5, they get 2 points for their team. So we reward the pace of the game. Men, give me 30 seconds to about attention, please. I know you've been here for a long day. Get locked in. Ready, set, and go. Fellas, understand this. Rewarded behavior is repeated behavior. Rewarded behavior is repeated behavior. If you reward process, you get more process. If you talk quality at bat, but you have a chart in your dugout that's batting average. I was at a program just a couple days ago. We talked a lot about the process. I walk in the locker room. They have 2 signs, ERA, batting average. Goes completely against everything that they've been talking about. If you're going to talk process, reward process. Keep a quality contact average or quality at-bat average versus the batting average. Rewarded behavior is repeated behavior. That's 30 seconds, space out. So the process-based scrimmage, at the end of the third inning, it may be 32-29. Nobody's touched home plate yet, but they're playing the game fast. They're playing the game the right way. They're playing the game with a process. See, everybody talk about, we got to play baseball hard. I used to say, we got to play the game hard. I don't think you play the game hard. Football, you play hard, you finish a tackle. Lacrosse, you play hard, you finish a check. Baseball, you play fast.